All right, now today we are learning section 5.4, dividing fractions and mixed numbers. If you haven't already, please turn in your books to page 222. Page 222 in your books. Now, dividing fractions and mixed numbers is very similar to multiplying them, except we're just going to have one step right at the beginning that we need to do first. In example 1, we're dividing a fraction by a fraction. 5/9 divided by 2/3. 5/9 divided by 2/3. Now, the first step when you're dividing a fraction is to do the reciprocal of the second fraction, meaning you always flip your second fraction. So that becomes 5/9, and once you do the reciprocal, you are now multiplying it, times 3/2. Do you see how I flipped it? It was 2/3, and now it's 3/2. Now that I have this, again, now I'm just multiplying, so I first look to see, can I cross reduce? And I can. I can reduce the 3 and the 9 by 3, and I can get 5/6, and that would be my answer. Now for a classwork problem for you to work on your own, let's go ahead and work together. 5/6 divided by 7/9. All right, now you try to think to yourself how you would solve this. This would be a good time to pause the recording so the students can do it on their own before seeing the answer. Now, the first thing we want to do again is the reciprocal. 5/6 times 9/7. Then we can cross reduce. Remember, anytime you can cross reduce, you want to take advantage of that. 5 times 3 is 15. 2 times 7 is 14, but that's not my final answer because that's an improper fraction. My final answer would be 1 and 1/14. All right, now in example 2, we're dividing a fraction by a whole number. Now remember, anytime we see a whole number, we know that that number is actually over 1. Okay, it's understood that a whole number, it can be written that number over 1. So essentially we're doing the same thing here. Now we have 4/5, and we need to do the reciprocal of 2/1. So we would multiply it by the reciprocal, which would be 1/2. Just flip the fraction. All you're doing here is flipping that second fraction. All right, now you can cross reduce the 2 and the 4 to get 2/5, and that would be your answer. All right, so now you practice one on your own. We have 1/6 divided by 3. How would you solve that? Well, first you do the reciprocal. Remember, that's 3/1, so reciprocal is 1/3, and your answer would be 1/18. 1/18. All right, now moving on to example 3. In example 3, we're drawing a diagram to solve a problem. I'm not too worried about drawing the diagram, so we're actually not going to do that part, but we are going to solve it, okay? It says to divide 21 divided by 3.5. Well, the first thing we want to do here is change our mixed number to an improper fraction. So we're going to say 21/1 divided by 7/2. Then we can do the reciprocal of our second fraction to get 21/1 times 2/7. Cross reduce the 7 and the 21 by 7, and you get 3 and 1, and your answer is 6. All right, so just like with multiplying, when we multiplied back in 5.3, you want to change it first, a mixed number first, to an improper fraction, then flip that second fraction and multiply just like you normally would. All right, so let's do another one like that. Like example 3. Let's do 5 2/3 divided by 3/5. Okay, well, the first thing we're going to do before anything else is go ahead and change this 5 2/3 to an improper fraction. So that becomes 17/3 divided by 3/5. Now we can do the reciprocal and say 17/3 times 5/3. We cannot reduce any part of that, so we're just going to multiply 17 times 5, which is 85 over 9. Then you're going to divide and you get 9 4/9. And that would be your answer. All right, last example. In example 4, now we're dividing two mixed numbers. So we have 8 3/4 divided by 2 5/8. All right, so the first thing you want to do is change them to the improper fraction, so that's what we'll do. 35 over 4 divided by 21 over 8. Then do the reciprocal, 35 over 4, and multiply it by 8 over 21. We just flipped that second fraction, did the reciprocal. All right, so now we can cross-reduce if possible. The 35 and the 21 can be reduced by 7, and the 4 and the 8 can be reduced by 4. 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 3 is 3. Change it to a mixed number, and you get 3 1/3. All right, now let's do one more example, and this is one you can do on your own as classwork. What if you had 4 1/2 divided by 1 1/4? All right, now try to do this one on your own. The first thing you would do is change them to improper fractions, 9 over 2 divided by 5 over 4. Then you're going to multiply by the reciprocal, 9 over 2 times 4 over 5. Cross-reduce where possible. 9 times 2 is 18, 5 times 1 is 5. Change back to a mixed number, 3 3/5. And if you understand that, that's everything you need to know for 5.4.